Imagine waking up every day knowing that you don't have a mom and a dad. Waking up knowing that you don't know where your next meal is going to come from, and you don't know when you or if you will ever have a family. This is the world of adoption. To understand the world of adoption, you need to know a few things. The first thing is you need to know what open and closed adoption is, what international or intercountry adoption is, and how often adoption actually takes place in the United States and around the world. So to start off, we'll talk about open and closed adoptions. So according to openadoption.org, open adoption is when the adoptive parents and the birth mother or birth parents have contact with the adoptive family. Now this could mean that they have meetings every week where they sit and talk to the kid, or they have FaceTime calls every week, or even that they just know the name of their adoptive birth parents. Second, according to adoptivelife.org, closed adoption is completely confidential. Nobody knows anything. Other than that, the adoptive family knows that they're getting a baby or a child. According to choiceline.me, you can choose whether you want to have an open or closed adoption. A lot of times this depends on what the birth mother says, and she really has the final say if she wants to be open or closed about the adoption. And she can change her mind, and she can say, oh, I would like to meet this family and get to know them and be a part of their life. Next is intercountry or international adoption. So for an adoption to happen internationally, you have to go through a lot of steps. You have to have a home study done, you have to get an attorney, you have to have pay for all the expenses of the birth mother, and all this stuff can add up to $4,100 or a little bit more. According to achildshope.org, they say that it can cost up to the $41,000 just to have the things done. That's not including the child itself and the expenses to get over to where the child is, and the room stays there, and the hotel fees, and all the other things that you have to do while you're there. According to adoptivefamilies.org, it costs between $20,000 and $50,000 just to start the adoption process. And that means that you know that you're going to get a baby, you have the home study done, and you have the attorney fees and the plane tickets to get over there and everything else. And according to the Adoption Network, there are around 135,000 kids who have not been adopted or who are up for adoption. And that leads us into how often adoption happens in the United States. So according to adoption care.me, most children come from the foster care system in the United States, and 100,000 kids every year are adopted. This could be through foster care or through an adoption agency where you go on your own. So 250,000 kids every year are put up for adoption every year, according to archive.boston.com. And if you think about it, that's a lot of kids, and that's a lot of families who want kids and who can't get kids. And internationally, there have been agencies to close because of what's going on in the world around us right now. And that's affecting the child, the adopted family, the birth parents. It's affecting everybody because people who want to adopt can't get to the children. In conclusion, according to McKinley.irwin.com, you have to abide by 3 laws when you are adopting internationally. You have to abide by the child's country's laws, you have to abide by the United States laws, and you have to abide by your own state's laws. Now that could mean a number of things, whether they tell you what country you can adopt from, what country you can't adopt from, and yeah, so in conclusion, the things that we've talked about today, the open and closed adoption, international or inter-country adoption, and how often adoption happens, gives you a little bit more insight on how adoption works and how often it happens. So there are thousands of kids every year who don't get adopted, and there are thousands of kids in the world who wake up knowing that they don't have a family and knowing that they possibly won't ever have a family. So the next time that you are thinking, while you're stuck at home during quarantine, how badly you want to get away from your family, or how badly you want to go back to school or go to wherever, just know that there are thousands of kids everywhere who will never get that chance to be home with their family. So thank you for listening.